and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Final Play. I'm your host, Harrison, with officially a co-host now. Welcome up.
You could guess my name. It's pretty easy, honestly. My name's Garrison. So creative, I know.
Yes, it was.
Thanks our mother for that.
All right, so we're just going to go ahead and dive into this.
Yeah.
We're going to start off with the Jonathan Hankins signing. 30 years old, 6'3", 340 pounds, defensive tackle.
Doesn't scare me one bit, in my opinion, but never heard of the guy before. As the looks of it, I mean, he doesn't look too spectacular.
Well,
with the Raiders.
Well, he wasn't great with the Raiders, but if you remember, he was drafted by the Giants. He's a long time Giant vet. And he was disruptive when in the run game. That's his specialty, is run stop. And I don't think our run stop up the middle is the issue. I think it's run stop on the outside.
Yeah.
Because any team that runs opposite side of Micah Parsons, they get away.
Yeah. Well, somewhat.
Well, yeah, somewhat, but still. I think now the time has come to beef up the interior D line. But with the signing of Hankins, I think now this puts Dallas in a spot to have Neville Gallimore traded. I think it's one of those things where they've been talking about him having this injury, and I think Dallas is not giving everybody the full story behind his injury.
They won't.
And obviously they won't, but I think this signing is kind of, I'm not going to say a nail in the coffin on the Neville Gallimore experience, because I think he needs way more time with Dallas. But dude, I hope we don't trade him away.
I don't know if we will. I mean, we're not too keen on trading guys out that fast, you know.
Well, we're not, but also within the potential trade list here that I do want to talk about, names that have been thrown around in Dallas, and these are names that I've heard from Mike Fisher's report. He's heard that Dallas has thrown out the name Chase Claypool. They talked about it, but then the price tag came out for Claypool. Dallas immediately was out because it's a really high price for him.
Yeah, he's not.
DJ Moore, I don't think he is either. DJ Moore being a trade target. I think now that McCaffrey's gone,
Robbie Anderson's gone.
I think now it gives Carolina a chance to actually use DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Another name, and I think it's probably the hottest name on the receiver trade list. Free agent list different. Trade list, though, I think the hottest name right now, honestly, Jerry Jeudy.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry Jeudy, that's a big name.
Well-rounded receiver, fast, good hands. He makes a play all the time. But did you see that Baltimore was in talks with Denver for Jeudy? Did you see that?
I heard that Baltimore has reached out. I think Baltimore is no longer in after signing Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
But the Giants want in after trading away Kadarius Toney. I think Miami could be a team. Miami's doing crazy things. So I think Miami could be a team that jumps in.
Perhaps.
But realistically, I'm not a fan of Dallas trading for a receiver. Now, they could come up and surprise all of us and trade for a receiver. But I think
one.
I don't think we do. Lamb's good enough. Gallup had 0 targets against Detroit, and we're going to get into the Detroit game, but I think that was one of the flaws in the Dallas game this last Sunday was Gallup had 0 targets. That's awful.
That's ridiculous.
Then you turn around, you lose James Washington due to the Lynch-Frack foot injury.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Tolbert has been unheard of,
Yeah.
and all they did was get on their knees and praise him to be some god of a replacement, and he hasn't done that.
Not at all.
And I'm gonna get into this with this trade. The asking price for Jeudy right now is a 3rd rounder. I'll give you I'll give you the third rounder.
I'll give it to you.
I'll give you the
yeah.
third rounder and Jalen
Where do I
Tolbert.
sign at? You know, like I'm activating that as fast
But
as
I
can.
got a feeling. I think right now what Denver's doing is saying, hey, we want a third rounder for him. But when teams call, obviously it's like, well, what else do you have to offer besides just that third rounder?
Yeah.
What can you throw our way? So that right there. Now, free agent list, the hottest name on the free agent list, Odell Beckham Jr. Odell.
I don't see him coming to Dallas. I feel like he'll go back to New York, but that's just because they're winning, of course.
I don't think he goes back to New York. He won't go back to New York. He doesn't want to play with Danny Dimes. Hey, remember, Danny Dimes has one loss. And shall we remind the people at home who that one loss was to?
Who?
Yours truly, the Dallas Cowboys. Like, guys, come on. Danny not so Dimes when he plays Dallas. And I mean, he is Danny Dimes when he plays. It's Danny Dimes, but to Dallas. Like,
yeah.
I mean, he's not that crazy. Saquon Barkley's the reason they have a lot of their success.
Oh yeah.
That offense alone has the most rushing yards
because of Saquon,
and that's why they're winning games. Like
he's
like
only
their defense isn't crazy.
He's only one of the
He's
best running backs in the league.
I think he has the third highest rushing yards percentage right now.
Coming off of an injury. Like he's that guy. I mean, shit.
But the question is, how long can he stay healthy though before the injury comes back to bite him? That's where I think we all want to see. From a fantasy standpoint, people want to see Saquon succeed. From a Dallas standpoint, it's like you can pump the brakes a little.
Yeah.
You know?
Sorry, not sorry.
But let's go ahead and get into the Detroit game. Like I mentioned earlier, let's go ahead and talk about the Dallas record. Dak goes down week 1. Lose 19-3 to Tampa Bay. Everybody, and I mean everybody, the season's over. Okay, the season's over.
Dak,
we're done.
Dak sucks.
Oh yeah. Oh my God! Don't get me started on the Dak sucks train.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And then Cooper Rush comes in, drives the bus a little while, gets us from point A to point B.
Bumpy road.
It was a bumpy road. Okay. It was bumpy. I'm sorry. He did not look good. He did not look great against the Bengals. He looked all right against the Giants.
And then looked absolutely horrible.
Well, hang on. We got to finish this out first. I'm sorry, guys. He looked awful against the Commanders. I get we won 25-10. First of all, it's the Washington Commies. Second of all, he would have thrown 3 interceptions that game. Now, he does make that up when we play Philly, but he throws 3 interceptions, but they all get wiped away because of defensive penalties. I didn't think he looked hot against the Rams, and Philadelphia exposed him.
Badly.
And then we played the Lions. Guys, why was everybody expecting Prescott to go out there and throw for
400 passing yards?
Yeah. They're like, oh, Prescott's going to come back and throw for 400 passing yards. No, he's not.
Yeah.
I'm like, I would have, if somebody said Prescott's going to throw for 250 passing yards his first game back, I was going to look at anybody and everybody and say, that's if he throws a screen from the 1-yard line and they house it.
Exactly.
Because I knew going into this game against the Lions did not have a great run defense. It was the feed Zeke and the feed Tony Pollard show, which feeding Zeke eventually leads to the injury of him not playing this week, which I think is going to hurt.
Yeah, he needs to stay off that cereal.
But now we got to come up. We play the Bears, who are ranked 29th in run defense.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, Dallas calls up Malik Davis. Calling up Malik Davis, I think, is huge.
Yeah,
but then
that's a big deal.
This is something that I need. Dallas does have a committee at running back. The numbers don't show it, but it's there. Zeke and Pollard are a committee. So now that Pollard will now take the reins, but Malik Davis is going to get used.
Oh yeah.
Pollard will be your 1-2 back, but to go and get the heavy yardage, it's going to be Malik Davis. I think people need to open their eyes to that now.
Yeah.
Malik Davis is going to take over the heavy workload.
Yeah, 3rd and 5s.
Go get it.
You gotta go get it. And Pollard's going to be used just for the explosiveness.
Yep.
Exactly. Like he's been. It's not going to change that role. It's just that Zeke's not playing anymore. We got to fill in his spot to his type of running back position.
And Malik Davis fills that spot. I think from what we saw, and I know it's preseason, but I think that's still a really good look from what we saw.
Oh yeah.
But now let's go ahead and get into this game against the Bears at home this Sunday. I got Dallas winning. And I know the Bears just came off of a big road win. To beat New England in New England,
huge.
The way they did is huge.
But they don't stand a chance in Dallas.
I don't think they stand a chance in
Dallas. Justin Fields is going to really feel the field.
Listen, there's a drop off. There's the number 1 defense. There's a slight step down to the number 2 defense. Then you have the number 3 defense, which is right there with the number 2. 2 and 3 could be interchangeable if you really want to get down into the business of it. But I think there is a 5-step drop between number 3 and the number 4 defense. New England has the number 4 ranked defense right now.
Yeah.
I don't think their pass rush is as crazy as Dallas's.
No, I don't think so.
I think DeMarcus Lawrence easily. Matthew Judon gets replaced with Micah Parsons. Who else is getting named on that front defensive line for New England that's as good as that can put the workload together like DeMarcus Lawrence, Dorrance Armstrong, Sam Williams, Neville Gallimore, Tristan Hill.
They don't compare.
Oh, and now you add in Jonathan Hankins.
It's the heavy dose.
It's gonna be a heavy dose of the front 4. Not to mention you'll have a potential Micah on the edge, or Micah coming down and blitzing. I think you got a lot. I think Chicago's going to have a lot more to deal with than they think they do.
Yeah, because I mean, when you add Hankins there, Parsons can be anywhere. He can come from all sides now.
And also remember, we drafted Damon Clark, and a lot of people said that he was not going to play this year. He's activated.
Oh, really?
And from what has come out of Frisco as of recent is he flies. He's a high flying linebacker. And I think that's what obviously you have Micah Parsons, guys. Mike is great. He stopped 2 key plays to where Detroit could have taken the lead or put them right back in the game, and Micah knocks those plays down and out of the way. One of them stops the guy from scoring. Next play, there's a fumble, and Dallas gets the ball.
Was that the one where he fetched him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he fetched that receiver. That's a crazy play.
From him, from all the way across the field.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, from his position, it's just like, this dude's a freak athlete. It's insane to watch.
He's built different. So, I think Chicago's going to have a lot more on their hands with us. I think both defensively and offensively. I don't think wide receiver 1, there's Jacoby Myers. He's no CeeDee Lamb.
No.
And Kill Harry's no. He's not even Michael Gallup there.
Yeah.
Now,
and they got Devontae Parker.
And they haven't utilized him at all.
Yeah.
And Hunter Henry, dude, I'm not sold on.
No, I'm not either.
that
Talk about a bust in fantasy. I mean, he's useless. He's not good. They're gonna get it. They're gonna get it this Sunday.
So, what is your score prediction this Sunday then? You have Dallas winning, but what
Yeah.
is your final score?
I think we put up our first 30 bomb this week. I'll say 35-17 Dallas. That's what I'll say. 35-17.
35-17.
Mm-hmm.
Our scores are close. If we get a 30 burger, I say we barely get it.
Really, like a 31.
I'm going 31-14 Dallas.
That's reasonable. I can see that. I really can.
And if you want to know what, if I were to say realistic score, I'll say 31-14. If you want to see my Dallas, like my inner Dallas fan and what should happen, 31-10. 31-6. That should be the score.
Zip.
But this is the NFL.
On paper.
This is the NFL,
paper.
and we all know garbage time is the most real thing in NFL than it is anywhere else. But that's the wrap up for this week's show. Thank you guys for tuning in this week. I hope you guys enjoyed all the news that we brought you, and we will see you guys next week.
After you hit the subscribe and like button.
Yeah.
See y'all later.
See you.